This is a plea for help from the United States of America to the United Nations. The USA has been overtaken by a hostile fascist group. This group has taken over our highest form of government due to Russian tampering with our recent election, the gerrymandering of our electoral college, and infiltrating of our FBI and our news sources with propaganda and lies that they call alternative facts.
And they're giving, Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But
look, alternative facts are not facts. They're falsehoods.
This fascist group was able to gain control of all three branches of the American government despite having lost the vote by nearly 3 million voters. They have begun breaking down the structure of our Constitution and all of the values with which this country, the United States, was founded upon. This group has an agenda to disrupt international trade and destroy global markets. It also has a racist, anti-freedom, far-right religious zealot idealism.
I'd like to encourage you to do one more thing, and that is to bow the head and bend the knee in the days that remain.
The infidels that have invaded our country are now suppressing our press from speaking out with facts.
Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Removing members of the press forcibly from the room.
The right to ask the question, and this is no. This is the question. You cannot deport 11 million. You cannot deport 11 million people. You cannot build a 9 citizenship to children. I'm a reporter, and don't touch me, sir. Don't touch me, sir. You
or
cannot
even
touch
revoking
me.
Pulitzer Prize-winning journalists from the White House access.
Can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect. Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance? You are attacking our news organization. Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state, Mr. President-elect, can you state categorically, Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question? You are attacking us. Can you give us a question? Can you give us a question? Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Since Donald J. Trump's inauguration into power, the world has watched in horror as this tyrant has imposed trade taxes on our neighbors, has threatened military action against our closest allies, and has lifted sanctions on our mutual foes and one of the world's greatest threats, Vladimir Putin. We don't need to remind you of the horrors Russia has recently dealt to some of its neighbors in the form of hostile government takeovers and the use of chemical weapons of mass destruction against some of our mutual allies. We've also watched as the fascist Trump regime has begun a sort of religious and ethnic cleansing.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States,
with its illegally imposed travel ban towards people with legal visas, American citizens, and refugees wanting to come to our country for solace and escape from the tyranny of religious war in the Middle East. We have also witnessed Donald J. Trump and his fascist hitmen of evil as they have begun dumping poisonous chemicals and waste into our water supply, our streams, and our lakes under the guise of profits. In the early 1940s, the United States, along with its allies, many of whom are part of the UN, sent our fathers and grandfathers off to fight the spread of fascism in our world. Close to 1 million of our allied boys died in fighting fascism. Many died on the beaches of Normandy as their blood spilled into the sand. They died for one cause for the whole world, so that all of their children could live free from the fascist tyranny. Donald J. Trump and his henchmen are a spit into the face to every one of those men who died liberating us from the evils of fascism. Imagine their horror if they knew that one day in the future their deaths would mean nothing and that the team that they fought for had now been overtaken by that which they chose to fight.
Every critic, every detractor will have to bow down to President Trump. It's everyone who's ever doubted Donald, whoever disagreed, whoever challenged him. It is the ultimate revenge to become the most powerful man in the universe.
The people of the world would be better off without Donald J. Trump and his henchmen in our world. So we ask you to please help us get rid of this global problem for the sake of our entire world. We, the people of the United States, ask for military aid in helping remove the evil tyranny from our government. As the United States has helped many members of the UN in the past, we, the majority of the American people, now beg you for your assistance to remove Donald J. Trump and his henchmen of evil from power. We can supply you with money, and from you, we ask political leverage, military backing, and weapons plus training for our citizens to help fight the fascists who have gained control of our military. We ask you to please remember how America has helped many of you in the past. Your help will also be rewarded doublefold. As you know, the United States economy helps determine many of your own economies. No one wants to end our global trade except for Donald J. Trump and his fascist henchmen. Your help is a win-win situation for the entire world. Please help the people of the United States of America.
I have said and I have told Donald that Mexico will never pay for that wall.